We still haven't taken IO yet. This is not going to start at 5, is it, Robbie? Oh, we haven't taken our infield, outfield, have we?
Thank you for joining us for a special KBRFradio.com sports presentation. Tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Nelson Auto and your Nelson starting lineups, Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota player of the game, Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show, Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region Healthcare timeout, Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard, the Viking Cafe and your Viking Cafe keys to the game, Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapies Incorporated, Fergus Falls Monument, Otter Tail Coaches, American Federal Bank of Fergus Falls, Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's, FM Bank, Service Food, Splash Express, American Legion Post number 30, Lake Country Graphics, LB Homes, and by Running Stitches. Now, let's head out for the pregame.
Hey, welcome to American Legion Field. Otter baseball today as the Otters take on the Sartell Sabres. A 5 o'clock start. Dave Bishop is our game side engineer as the Otters come into this game with a 3-0 record. And they went down south and played 3 games against 3 very good teams. They had a good trip down there. We'll talk about that with head coach Shane Tilke in just a minute. But they followed up with a 5-3 win over Minnewaska area on April 10th, last Friday. And then on Tuesday of this week, they swept the Detroit Lakes Lakers 12-2 and 11-1. They got good pitching performances from Hunter Powers and Josh Horgan, and some timely hitting and 2 10-run games there. So it was a good start to the conference schedule. But this Sartell team now has dropped down into Section 3A. Some say that they could win their section, if not the CLC conference. It'll be a good matchup. Sartell, they are 2-2 on the season. They opened up with a 7-6 loss to Hutchinson, a team that knocked the Otters out of a state tournament bid last year. If you remember that one, I think 12-5 was the score. And then they lost to Albany 5-0. And then a couple of wins here last Tuesday against Brainerd 5-2 and 7-4. We are going to take a break. Ads on here, David. Are they good to go? Come back and hear from head coach Shane Tilke as their pregame show continues.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Lake Region Healthcare joins you in shouting loud, cheering strong, and jumping for joy. Keeping our community healthy and spirited is the top priority at Lake Region Healthcare.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
For over 50 years, Otter Tail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Otter Tail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles to Quality Toyota to get a great deal, and we've done it 13 times.
Is it done? Okay, I got the interview playing now. Okay, all right. It's about
the Otters. And Shane, what a great day for baseball.
Yeah, you can't ask for anything better here in mid-April. You know, we're used to cold, wind, wet in April, and usually days like this in May, but we'll take a sunny and 75 anytime we can get it.
I had a great trip going down south, played some tough teams, but how was that for just getting the guys together and getting out in the field?
You know, that was perfect. Not something that we've ever done before, obviously, so didn't really know how that would play into how things would work for us this year. But just getting down there, getting the guys outside, great team bonding. And as far as the competition goes, we treated it like a spring training type of deal where we got lots of guys, innings on the mound, and get our key lineup guys just some at-bats off of pitching that is going to obviously be really competitive, and just get them in a mode where we're out of the gym for a few days and playing real baseball so that when we get back here to Minnesota, we're ready for our spring season.
Opened up against Detroit Lakes, 10 run in both games. He had good performances from Powers and also from Horgan, too. A first win for him varsity. But talk about those two.
You know, that was awesome. We know Detroit Lakes they're always going to want to play well against Fergus Falls, and maybe their baseball program's been down a little bit, but we play them in the spring and the summer, and they give us a great matchup every time. And Hunter Powers in game one just really pounded the strike zone and made their batters work for it. And, you know, he gave up a run or two that he wasn't happy about because he's a competitor, but really he shut them down all night long, only allowing 2 hits, 1 walk. And then Josh, his first varsity start, we really had planned on starting Brody Crine. I felt bad for Mr. Etzloff. I had told him that's who was going to start, but when we saw the way things were playing out, we shifted gears because Josh was going to be in relief and we wanted to see him, and we had an idea that maybe we wouldn't use a reliever, so we went with Josh, and he was up to the task. He a little bumpy in the first inning, just getting his varsity legs under him. Then after that, he settled in. He was sharp, and just like Hunter, pounded the zone and got us 5 quality innings.
Sartell Central Lakes game, a little tougher against the Sabres they won.
Yeah, Sartell, I was just looking at some stuff earlier this week. They're picked by a lot of the coaches in the area to be, a state tournament contender now that they're in our section 8-3A, coming down from 4A, and a conference contender, obviously. They've always got very, very high quality baseball. A lot of numbers out for their program. Just talk to their coach. They are a program that has to make cuts, actually, and that's tough to do too. But their kids play ball year round, and they show up and they give us a great battle every year. And most of the time we're up for the challenge. And today we're excited to have the opportunity early on a nice day.
And then before we go, talk about the big fundraiser for Legion Ball. You're involved in that too on Sunday morning. I heard you talking on the air with Marion this morning.
Yeah, you got the chance to talk on the radio a couple times today. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. We got our Belgian waffle feed out at the American Legion from 8 till 1 o'clock on Sunday morning. It's a free will donation, and all of our Legion players and then the double roster guys from Junior Legion come out and serve the community waffles and sausage and coffee and milk and all that good stuff, and get a chance to mingle with the players a little bit and make a donation to the American Legion baseball program, which does so many great things for our kids, our community, our baseball program. Just can't thank the American Legion enough, and the community that comes out and supports us.
Shane.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Shane Tilke, head coach of the Otters, will come back with more after this break.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe, with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
What's your number?
We drove 5.2 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Lake Region Healthcare is proud to be trusted and recommended by parents and coaches, athletes, and families. Keeping healthcare close to home for local athletes and all their fans. Find us online at lrhc.org.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
Oh, there we go. Mike is on now. Thank you, Dave. Dave Bishop, our game side engineer. We're on. 2-2 the count. We'll go through those lineups here in just a second. And here comes the pitch. Ground ball to Tilkio. It goes up the middle as Parker had a chance at that one. It got by him, and then a diving attempt by Micah Johnson. And Hemker is on. And a hit, we'll give him an infield hit on that one, eh? So that brings up Mateo Segura, the second baseman. In the Otter lineup, Tilke on the mound. That's Parker. Brant Sherman catching. Brody Crine at first. There's a ball in the dirt. Good job by Brant Sherman. Crine at first. Micah Johnson at second. Third baseman is Nolan Fellstuhl. Cam Wiedrich at short. Left field is Bennett Tilke. Center is Jacob Froning. And then Makai Abramson in right field. All right, we got listeners in Miles City. Let's go. During the basketball and hockey season, you get some people listening all around the globe, especially if they're getting to warmer climate. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's going to be fouled back. The count goes even at 1-1. So Nolan Hemker at first base, an infield hit. 1 down, 1 on, and a 1-1 count, and 11 pitches thrown. Look at that scoreboard. There's 1 hit. It's all 1s and 0s. For you that care, that's binary code. I didn't even know what that means, but computer lingo. There's a throw to first, and Hemker gets back in easily. JV is playing on Farmers Field, and the JV2 team is on the road at Sartell. Here's the pitch to Segura. Runner's going. Good throw, and it's going to be just short. A good jump by Hemker, so a stolen base. And called strike. I heard one of the fans say that was a foot outside. All right, here comes the 1-2 pitch. 1 out. Runner on second. Mateo Segura at the plate. And Parker will step back and reset here. Wind is blowing in kind of from the southwest. Here's a 1-2 pitch in the dirt. That was a breaking ball. It's 2-2. Segura had a look at it, but he picked up the rotation on the curveball. It was in the dirt, laid off that one. Miles Simonson on deck for Sartell. And here comes the 2-2 pitch now. Again, 1 down here for Fergus Falls in the top half of the first inning. Pitch, that's going to be low. Count goes to 3-2. So 3-2 the count. Runner on second. 1 out. Comes a 3-2 pitch to number 3 hitter, Mateo Segura. That's high, and that's a walk. So a base on ball. And so the Sabres will have runners on first and second, 1 out. And Miles Simonson will step in. Simonson, the right fielder. Again, our starting lineups brought to you by Nelson Auto Center. We have our quality player of the game and our post-game show, and then also Minnesota Motors sponsors our recaps before the end of each inning. Here's the first pitch to Miles Simonson. Ground ball. Tilke's up with it. He goes to second for 1, on to first, and it's thrown in over the head of Brody Crine, and so Hemker will score on an error. Segura's out on a fielder's choice. And Miles Simonson is at first base. So 1 run in, 1 error there on the throw. Thought maybe Parker had time to go to third on that one, but elected to go to second. And Schlangen will step in. He is the third baseman. So 1 in, 1 on, 2 outs. First pitch in for a strike. So Hemker came around from second on the attempted double play. A good play there by Tilke. Was thrown over to first as Simonson was kind of leaning. Again, Schlangen wears number 8. He's a right-handed batter. Tilke from the set delivers. Ground ball, third base. Fellstuhl up with it. On to first. So a 5-3 putout. 1 run, 1 hit. 1 error, 1 left on base. Our Minnesota Motor inning recap. We'll come back after this break as the Otters step to the plate.
It's time to get road trip ready with a new Buick from Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. Whether you like the full size and power of the Buick Enclave or the smaller, fuel-efficient Buick Envista, they have the perfect SUV waiting just for you. Some models are discounted up to $6,000. Contact the sales team for details. Buick, exceptional by design.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
We're back here at Legion Field. Thanks for tuning in on Channel 977. Game also streamed on the KBRF YouTube channel or the Fergus Now app. So the Sartell Sabres, they get one run. The Otters attempted a double play. They had a runner on going. It was first and second. They had someone going towards third, and the throw on the relay to first went over the head of Brody Crine, and the runner Hemker scored from second base on that. So the Otters again, Felstow will lead off, followed by Micah Johnson, Hunter Powers, Brody Crine, Parker Tilke, Brant Sherman, Cam Wiedrich, Jacob Froning, and Bennett Tilke. Dylan Holter on the mound here for the Sabres. Dalen Holter, again the catcher is Lindowski, Keaton Lindowski. So Holter on the mound, and Nolan Felstow will step in here for the Otters. Felstow, a left-handed bat. Where's number 3? And he's followed by senior second baseman Micah Johnson. Here's Holter's pitch from the windup. And it's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. Kind of a nice, healthy pitcher's zone here today, huh? Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's outside. 1-1. So 1-1 the count to Felstow here in the bottom of the first inning. Just one game here, 1 7-inning game. There's a pitch inside 1-2, or pardon me, 2-1. How about the Minnesota Twins, huh? Before that, they were playing good. They lost yesterday. There's a line drive foul. It goes out of play. The count goes to 2-2 to Felstow. Again, Schreiner at first, Segura at second, Thompson at short, Schlangen left, Knott in left, Hemker in center, Simonson in right. Again, Dalen Holter the pitcher, Lindowski the catcher. There's a pitch. Good job that time by Felstow laying off that pitch. It's high and outside. A lot of lefties will slap that into left field. Good decision by Felstow. There's the pitch. That's a base hit into right field. Otters have their first runner on. Felstow leads off with a single. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Micah Johnson. So Nolan Felstow leads off with a single. On deck is Hunter Powers, who committed to play baseball at UMD. Here comes the first pitch here to Micah Johnson. That's high for a ball. One and 0 the count to Micah Johnson. Again, Powers on deck, followed by Brody Crine in the cleanup spot. Comes the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be fouled back. The count goes to 1-1. Again, Tostin Mann, the last Fergus player to play, had a good career at UMD, and Hunter Powers is headed there. Tostin on the coaching staff there as well, does some recruiting and such. 1-1 the count. Felstow at first base. Kind of a modest lead. There's a throw over, but he gets back in time. Shane Tilke on the air this morning with Dave Bishop and Mary Dolan talking about the American Legion waffle feed. Dave said he's been there a few times, and he's probably going this Sunday too. 8-1. There's a pitch in the dirt. Fellstool will take second base, and it's 2-1. So Fellstool to second base, a cloud of dust, and he's there. And Hunter Powers on deck. Where's number 16, Micah Johnson, here with a 2-1 count. Again, Fellstool on second. Here's Holter, the pitcher. Wines, delivers. That's going to be fouled back. Count goes to 2-2. So both teams here getting a runner on in the first inning. The Sartell Sabres stranded a runner. Micah Johnson had a really excellent basketball season and football season for the Otters. That's going to be fouled back, so Micah right on him here. We haven't seen a nasty curveball yet. We'll see. Or see if he has an off-speed pitch here. Fellstool on second. And here comes the wind-up. Holter's pitch. That's going to be blooped into right field. It's going to drop. Micah Johnson. The ball goes kind of into foul territory. And on a bloop, I mean, it was a solid single, but an RBI for Micah Johnson. He'll go to second. The right fielder, didn't get a great jump on it, and it ended up kind of landing and spinning away from him. So an RBI for Micah Johnson. Fellstool scores. The Otters now with a run and a hit and a runner on for, second base. That's a hit there. All right, here's the first pitch to Hunter Powers. It's inside. Oh, yeah. Yeah, hit there. So 1-1 the score here. Bottom of the first inning. Micah Johnson on second base. A single, and then he advanced to second base on an error. Dalen Holter, the pitcher, winds. That's going to be fouled, and that's going to drift out of play. Count goes to 0-2. So Hunter Powers at the plate. Again, he's a left-handed batter. He had great power. He's the DH today for Micaiah Abramson. Brody Crine on deck. Nobody out. Runner on first. The Otters have one across. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Holter. Comes the set. Pitch. That's laced into right field, but it kind of a high fly ball. Johnson bluffs the tag. No chance there. And so Powers flies out. We'll score that one F9. And Brody Crine will step in. Crine wears number 11. Junior right fielder. Again, standing on second base is Micah Johnson. Nolan Fellstool, who singled, scored on the Micah Johnson single. So Crine at the plate. Sister Rylin listening in Miles City, Montana? Is she? Rylin, if you're listening, thanks for texting in and giving us an update. You're having a great season out there. You are. Very good. Going to go to Bismarck State next year. There's the pitch and a line drive, but it's right at the left fielder. So I'm going to score, that's a F7, but I write in my book a well hit out. It's a well hit out. Because if I'm the coach and I see it was a line drive like that, you're seeing the ball, right? Call it a well hit out. So Crine lines out to left field, and the pitcher, Parker Tilke, comes up. Do you do that, Robbie? Or, well hit out. That was a well hit ball. So it's an out. I know it is. That's what my college coach did. That way, if you were 0 for 2 and had 2 line drives, you knew you were seeing the ball. So. All right. 1-0. Okay. It's fun following our athletes. No doubt about that. Here's Dylan Holter. pitch right down the pipe there, but Parker didn't like that one. It goes 1-1. It's fun to follow the alumni. Carter Tilke plays for UW Superior. He played against my son Andrew at University Northwestern. Shane was at the game. Here's a pitch from Holter. That's a strike, 1-2. Kind of a generous strike zone today by the umpire. What's that? He's got a dinner reservation. I like it. Make him hit the ball. Let's hit the ball. So here's Tilke at the plate. 2 down, runner on second. Yep. And here comes the pitch to Tilke. He swung on and missed. He struck him out. So the Otters, though, with 1 run on 2 hits, there's 1 error and 1 left on base. We'll come back with the top half of the second, our Minnesota Motor inning break after this timeout.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Hey, welcome back to American Legion Field, where the Otters and the Sabres are tied 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the first inning. Parker Tilke on the mound for the Otters. And Keaton Lindowski will lead off for the Sabres, followed by Jackson Knott and Matt Schreiner. And we're in the top half of the second inning. Beautiful day for a game here. Do you guys mind checking the JV score now and then? So we got Trenton Druliard and Blake Dillon here taking care of business. Blake, you're going to play football, right? Yeah, are you? No, you're not. No. Okay, not yet. You're only a junior, but next year. All right, here we go. Keaton Lindowski. What's the score? All right, on the JV game, the Sabres lead Fergus Falls 3-1. Catcher Lindowski steps in. He's got the high stirrups. Jim Tomei look. There's a pitch in the dirt. Seems like with stirrups, it's all or nothing, above the knee or down in your cleats, right? You know, it's like there's no. Yep, there's a foul ball that's going to go out of play. Brad Sherman's dad will pick that one up. Maybe get it autographed by his son, huh? So, baseball is a fun game, right? It's a great American pastime. There's a 1-1 pitch. That's going to be high. Jackson Knott, the left fielder, is on deck. Parker Tilke delivers here. 1-1 pitch. Right-hander. There's a curveball that goes outside. 2-1. Curveball is a little more like a slider. It kind of breaks right at the end. So 3-1 the count here. Let's see if Carter can come back here against Keaton Lindowski, the catcher. There's a good pitch. He called a strike, and the batter threw the bat towards first. I didn't think he meant to show the ump up there. It was just an honest mistake. You can tell when they're kind of showing the ump up, right? So here's the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, so Tilke gets a strikeout. Fell behind 3-1, and Parker came right back and got the catcher Landowski. So not the left fielder will step in, whereas number 27. Right-handed batter. Pitch from Tilke. Line drive to left field. That was well hit by Knott, so he'll go to first base. And the first baseman, Matt Schreiner, will step in. 1-1 is our score. We're in the top of the second inning. We'll play 7 innings. Thanks for tuning in on 977. Also, if you're streaming on the Fergus Now app or the KBRF YouTube channel. Runner on first. Pretty good lead over there this time for Knott. Yep, he's off. Swung on, it's in the dirt, and he'll get a stolen base. So Schreiner protecting the runner, and Knott's got good wheels. There's no doubt about that. You could see the lead, and so runner on second now, nobody out, or probably 1 out. A strikeout to Landowski. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Parker looks back towards second base. And he's going to throw it to Micah Johnson just to keep him honest. So 0-1 the count. On deck is the pitcher who's DHing for himself. That's Dalen Holter. Schreiner steps in. Again, a runner on second, 1 out, and an 0-1 count. Again, the JV going on over at the Farmers Field at the same time. Tilke delivers. That's low for a ball. 1-1 the count. We have more baseball next week. We'll talk about that in the postgame show. Again, Jason Retzloff had the call of the Detroit Lakes games. And there's a base hit to left field. And rounding third. No, he's going to go back to the base, and they got a chance to go, and he was in there. Oh, boy. Jackson, Landowski rounded third. The coach held him up. And then Wiedrich threw it to Fellstuhl. Looked like it was very close, but a solid single now. So back-to-back singles in the inning. And to third base goes Knott. Matt Schreiber to first. Look for him to take off here with a first and third situation. And the pitcher, Dalen Holter, steps to the plate. 1 out. Runners on first and third. Tilke, breaking ball for a strike, and up easy with a steal. There is Matt Schreiner. So 0-1 the count. So runners at second and third with 1 out here now. Crying up at the corner at first base, and Fellstuhl steps in on the grass as well. There's a pitch in for a strike. Good job by Tilke battling back here. 0-2. So 0-2 the count to Dalen Holter. 1 out here for the Otters, but runners on second and third. There is a shot to left field, but it's going to be caught by Jacob Froning, a sac fly, and scoring from third. The Otters will cut it off. But Knott comes in on a sacrifice. 1 out, an RBI for Holter. So sac fly, 2 down now. And Thompson comes in, and down to second base goes Schreiner. And it brings up the leadoff hitter, Brady Thompson. Thompson, the shortstop. Grounded out to Cam Wiedrich in the first inning. So 1 across, 2 hits in the inning so far. And there's a wild pitch that'll advance number 23, Matt Schreiber, to third base. So 2 outs here for Fergus Falls. Leadoff hitter Thompson with a 1-0 count. And it's going to be fouled into right field. Nolan Hemker, who scored on the first inning, will step in following Thompson. Robbie, how did Hemker get out again? Did he? The number 6, the number 2 batter. Last inning. There's a line drive, or a base hit through the hole to right field and an RBI single. Schreiner comes across to score. Okay, and then an RBI this time for Brady Thompson. So he's at first base, and it's 3-1. And that'll bring up Nolan Hemker. Singled in the first, scored a run. He's the left-hand bat. He'll step in here now. Otters with 2 outs. First pitch in for a strike. So far, though, 2 across, 3 hits in the inning here for Sartell. Second baseman Mateo Segura on deck. There's a foul ball. Runner was going. Thompson will have to go back to first, and count goes to 0-2. 3-1 here. Sartell with the lead here on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. Great night for baseball. Good thing we're not playing tomorrow or Saturday. My goodness. Pitch is inside. It's a ball. It hit him. Just brushed him, so hit by pitch. So runner's now at first and second. Brady Thompson at second. Hemker hit by pitch at first base. And Mateo Segura steps in. He was out on a fielder's choice in the first inning. Well, on that fielder's choice, Hemker came across to score. So ball came in on Hemker, just grazed his uniform. So Sartell with runners on first and second. And Mateo Segura steps in. Left-handed bat, and he is the number 3 hitter, followed by cleanup hitter Simonson. First pitch high for a ball. 1-0. Again, we're on the top half of the second, 3-1 in favor of Sartell. Tilke comes to the rest, delivers, and that's going to be outside. Count goes to 2-0. So 2 across an inning in this inning for Sartell. They lead at 3-1. Here's Tilke's pitch, and that's going to be high for a ball. 3-0. Again, the cleanup hitter Miles Simonson will come to the plate after this. There's a pitch in for a strike. 3-1. See if Tilke can battle back here. There's a base hit to right field. That'll score a run. Abramson comes up with it, gets it in. And so a single and an RBI for Mateo Segura. He goes to first base. And that scores Thompson. And going to third base is Nolan Hemker. And so there's a 3 across in the inning here, and on 5 or 4 hits in this inning. We're going to have a pitching change. Looks like Brody Cryan's going to come in and pitch, and with that, we'll take a break, come back with more. Otters trail 4-1. We're in the middle of the second inning.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls is proud to sponsor area athletics. Nelson Auto knows the value of a good team, and we'd like to invite you in to meet our team. See how our team takes care of you and your family. Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance? Trust Alicia Helgeson at FM Bank in Fergus Falls. With expert guidance and local know-how, she makes the mortgage process smooth and stress-free. Call Alicia or apply online at mybankfm.com today. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Welcome back to American Legion Field. The Otters make a pitching change here and some positional changes. So Cryan will go From first base to the mound, Hunter Powers will go to first base. Parker Tilke, is he going to go to center? And Bennett Tilke to right, would it be? And then Jacob Froning to left, most likely. We'll see here in just a second. And so for Tilke, he gives up 4 runs on 5 hits. There were 2 errors. And right now, Krein comes in with runners on first and third. Mateo Segura on first, Mateo Segura and Nolan Hemker on third base. And stepping in now for the Sabres, the cleanup hitter, Miles Simonson. Again, a lot happened with 2 outs. The Otters had 2 outs and surrendered a couple of hits. And Simonson, the left. They got some left-handed sticks here. They'll step in here. So Brody Krein on the mound here for Fergus Falls. You got Powers at first, Bennett Tilke in right, Jacob Froning in left, and Parker Tilke goes to center field. Here's the pitch. Good start here for Krein. That's in for a strike. Yep. And going down to second base is Segura. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. 2 down, 2 on here for the Sabres. Krein delivers. And in for a strike. 0-2. So Krein comes in and gets ahead on the count to Miles Simonson. Here's Krein. Delivers. That's a fly ball to right field. It's going to be foul ball. So Miles Simonson hung in there on that one, drilled it down the line, but it was foul. 4-1 is our score here on the Park Region Telephone scoreboard. Trevor Schlangen, the third baseman, on deck, but there's 2 outs here and an 0-2 count to Miles Simonson. He's the number 4 hitter for Sartell. And he'll step out. Back in the box, Krein delivers to the windup. And that's going to be a ball, high and outside. I don't mind that pitch, though. Trying to get him fishing, high and outside. Yeah. Here's Krein now, shakes off the first sign. All right, here's Brody's pitch. Curveball in the dirt. And that'll score a run as Hemker comes around to score. And Segura goes to third. That run will be credited to Parker Tilke. And so with 2 outs here now, I think they scored a couple runs here. Ground ball, Micah Johnson up with it. On to first to Powers. And a 4-3 putout. Yeah, 4 runs in the innings, 4 hits. And so there we go, our Minnesota Motor recap of the inning. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll head back with the top of the or bottom of the 3rd inning.
What's your number?
We drove 25 miles to get a great deal at Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Fresh and fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk. Bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and fancy, saving moms 1 dinner at a time.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. Just like their student athletes, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community 1 play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
7-1, okay. Hey, we're back here at American Legion Field. The Otters trail it by a score of 5-1 as they come to bat here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And 1-1 after 1, and then 4 in the inning that time for Sartell. And Brant Sherman will step in for the Otters. Followed by Cam Wiedrich, Jacob Froning, and Bennett Tilke. Brant Sherman, the catcher. Had a good hockey season as a defenseman for the Otters. Steps in with a multicolored bat. Like that bat. There's a foul ball off the handle. 0-1. So 0-1 the count. Can the pitcher, Dalen Holter, surrendered 2 hits to the Otters in the first inning. Here's the pitch from Holter, right-hander. Swung on and missed. Punt goes to 0-2. Again, the shortstop, Cam Wiedrich, is on deck. Brant Sherman, 0-2 pitch from Holter. That's going to be high. Count goes to 1-2. Tried to see if Brant would go after a high one there, but good patience there at the plate. So 1-2 the count. Nobody on, no outs here for the Otters. Leadoff hitter Brant Sherman, ground ball, and it's going to be fielded by the third base coach, head coach Shane Tilke. And so the count remains 1-2. Holter from the windup delivers, and that's going to be low, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2-2 the count. Again, Wiedrich on deck, followed by Jacob Froning and Bennett Tilke. 2-2 pitch. That's outside, so good patience here by Brant. Count goes to 3-2. So Sherman will step in here. 3-2 count. Holter delivers. And that's a strike outside corner. Got him looking, 1 down. And that'll bring up the shortstop, Cam Wiedrich. Part of that Otter basketball team as well. So 1 out here, Wiedrich steps in. Again, Jacob Froning is on deck. Holter delivers and is outside, ball 1. Great afternoon, early evening for baseball here from American Legion Field. Holter's pitch going to be blooped into right field, and the right fielder comes on to make the play. That was a nice catch there by Simonson. And so Wiedrich pops out to the right fielder. So 2 down. And Jacob Froning steps in. Again, Jacob moved over to left field, didn't he, Robbie? Yep. And Parker Tilke went out to center, and Bennett Tilke to right. Hunter Powers goes to first, and then Crine goes from first to pitcher. So here's Jacob Froning at the plate. Pitch swung on and missed. 0-1. Froning will step back in. 2 down here for the Otters. Nobody on. Pitch fouled right side. First baseman watches it go outside, out of play. Count goes quickly to 0-2. Nobody on. 2 outs here for Fergus Falls. They trail 5-1 in the bottom of the second inning. If Froning reaches Bennett Tilke is on deck. And here's a pitch from Holter. That's low. Count goes to 1-2. 1-2 the count. Dalen Holter delivers. That's going to be outside. 2-2. So just like against Wiedrich, he got ahead in the count and then brought it to full against Cam Wiedrich. The count's now 2-2. Jacob Froning steps in here. Again, the Otters trailing 5-1 here, bottom of the second inning. Pitch fouled back out of play. Count remains 2-2. Froning wears number 10. Jacob steps in Pitch from Holter. Swung on and missed. Struck him out. So the Otters, Minnesota Motor recap of the bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And we go down now to the top of the third inning. 5-1 Sabres. You're listening to Otter Baseball on Channel 977. Streamed on the Fergus Now app and on the Fergus Falls KBRF YouTube channel.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
Welcome back to American Legion Field. The Otters trail it by a score of 5-1. Brody Crine came on to get the third out of the inning in relief. And the Sartell Sabres will bring up Trevor Schlangen and then Keaton Landowski and Jackson Knott. So we're set to go here. Again, Brody Crine in relief of Parker Tilke. So Schlangen steps in. He grounded out to third baseman Nolan Fellstuhl in the first inning. First pitch in the dirt for ball 1-0. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. That's going to be fouled back. It's going to go up and out of play. At least it wasn't my car windshield. I already have a cracked windshield anyhow, so it's not a big deal. 1-1 the count to Schlangen. He falls that one back, 1-2. So Brody gets ahead in the count. Again, he's the number 5 hitter. Again, he grounded out to third base in the first inning. 0 for 1 in the afternoon. Again, the Otters trail 5-1 here at the top of the third inning. Crine's pitch. Good change of speed there for Brody. And it's fouled off by Schlangen. He had Schlangen coming out of his shoes in that pitch. So you like to see 1-2. Brody delivers here. That's going to be fouled back. Major League Baseball goes through something like 140 baseballs in a game. Something like that. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, every single one. That's the one you want as a pitcher. You want the nicked up one as a pitcher, right? Here's the 1-2 pitch. That's going to be fouled back. Another happy fan. So Crine here, throwing strikes, no outs. First batter of the inning here for Sartell. 1-2 count. Curveball. That's going to be fouled, and that's going to be out of play as well. Good battle going on here between Crine and Schlangen. Schlangen doing a good job of falling off those curveballs. So 1-2 is a count. Again, the Otters trail 5-1. Brody came on relief of Parker Tilke, who was surrendered, was 4 runs and then credited with the 1 on base when Crine came in. There's a strikeout. A backwards K in the scorebook as Crine wins the battle. And that'll bring up Keaton Landowski, the catcher. He's going to be followed by Jackson Knott. Landowski struck out in the second inning. Hasn't reached yet. Here comes the pitch from Crine. Oh, that's going to hit him square in the back. So a hit by pitch, so that'll be a runner aboard. And Jackson Knott will check in. Not singled and scored a run. Stole the base as well. That happened all in the second inning. So Sartell got 1 in the first and 4 in the second. There will be a pinch runner, though. That'll be number 40. Michael Trobeck on to run for the catcher, courtesy runner. And so the left fielder, Jackson Knott, steps in. And pitch is going to be outside, ball 1. Matt Schreiner and Dalen Holter in the hole here for Sartell. Here's Knott, runner on first. See if he's going to go. He's running. Down to second, and in easily there with a stolen base is number 40, Trobeck. So Trobeck with a stolen base is at second base. And breaks up the double play opportunity. Here comes a 2-0 pitch now to Jackson Knott. That's a strike. Nice pitch on the outside corner to the right-handed batter, Jackson Knott. It's the left fielder. Again, he singled, scored a run, stole the base in the second inning. Here's the 1-2-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Johnson up with it. Plants. Throws, and Powers couldn't quite dig that one out. He knocked it down. Yeah, that was a nice play by Micah Johnson to get there. So to third base goes Landowski, and an infield hit, correct? And so Schreiner will step in, not to first. Landowski is at third base. We'll see Jackson not taken off here, I'm sure, in the first or second pitch most likely. Big lead. He'll be taken off here, I think. Yep. He's going to wait one out. So it's a foul ball back, so Crine gets ahead in the count. 1 out, runners on first and third. Double play ball would be awfully nice here, wouldn't it? Man, that hot dog smells good. Trenton Druliard comes back with a hot dog and barbecue chips, and I got nothing. I didn't ask for anything. So, all right, down to second base, so is Jackson Knott. 0-2 the count. I was in for a strike, so 0-2. So Crine is ahead in the count, but runners on second and third. Trobeck on for the catcher Landowski. He's at third base. Curveball. Missed for ball 1-2. So Trobeck at third. And Jackson Knott at second base. Here's the 1-2 pitch by Crine with 1 out. That's going to be high. The count goes to 2-2. On deck will be Dalen Holter, the pitcher. So 2-2 the count. 1 out. Pitch by Crine. He got him out on the swinging. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for Crine. Good job that time by Brody. Got ahead in the count, won the battle. And Holter, the pitcher, steps in. Had a sac fly and an RBI in the second inning. Brody gets ahead here again, 0-1. First pitch in for a strike, fastball. Again, 2 on. Nobody across yet in the inning for Sartell. Crine ahead in the count, 0-1. Good pitch by Crine that time. Curveball in the outside corner. So Brody on in relief of Parker Tilke. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's going to be fouled back. The count stays at 0-2. So 0-2 the count, 2 down. Pitcher on pitcher here as Holter, the pitcher, DHing for himself. Crine delivers. Pitch outside. Just missed, but count goes to 1-2. Blake Dillon comes with the hot dog special. Wow. I should have been more prepared. Fouled back. Count stays 1-2. I think we're gonna see the curveball here, or the off-speed pitch. Curveball, outside corner. Crine. 1-2 count. Holter, the pitcher. Gets him swinging. That was a changeup, wasn't it? 3 strikeouts in the inning for Crine. So there's no runs. There's 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. But Crine strikes out 3 in the inning. Our Minnesota Motor inning recap. Right now, again, after 2.5 complete, 5-1 in favor of the Sabres. We'll go back with more after this break.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Between muddy roads and dusty drives, your car takes a beating. Keep it shining with an unlimited car wash membership at Splash Express. Upgrade to the Platinum for a rust inhibitor, hot wax, and ceramic coating in one bundle. Stop by Splash Express next to Premier Meats in Fergus Falls.
Between practices, games, and late-night drives, who's got time to grocery shop? With Instacart from Service Food in Fergus Falls, order online and your groceries are ready for delivery. So you can cheer louder, not shop longer. Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Hey, we're back here at American Legion Field. After 2.5 innings, the Otters come to bat in the bottom of the third. They trail at 5-1. Brody Crine struck out 3 in the inning. 2 batters reached, but nobody reached home plate. So the Otters right now with an opportunity as they held Sabres scoreless. The Sabres scored 1 in the first, 4 in the second. Parker Tilke started the game. Crine came on in relief, got the 3rd out of the 2nd inning. And we're set to go as Bennett Tilke will step in. We're in the 3rd inning, and pitcher Dalen Holter has only faced 8 batters so far, so Tilke steps in. Bennett wears number 5, started the game in left field, moved over to right field. And Holter surrendered 2 hits in the game. The Otters have 1 run thus far. As Tilke steps in. On deck hitter's leadoff hitter Nolan Fellstill. Holter's pitch, ground ball to short. And a nice play by the shortstop. Thompson came up with it, and so Tilke grounds out 6-3. And Nolan Fellstool steps in. He singled in the first, scored a run. The only run for the Otters, so Fellstool will step in here, followed by Micah Johnson and Hunter Powers. And the home plate umpire is talking to the first base umpire. You know, we're the only ones with instant replay, but, you know, you watch any college pro game now and so many replays. I mean, I'm glad to get it right, but it's so you can sell more advertising, get more commercials in, right? And so, oh, boy, yeah. The jury is still out on the automation. First pitch, a ball, 1-0. Fellstool. Falls one off the left side, and that's going to drift out of play as Schlang and the third baseman watched it fly over the fence. So 1-1 here to Nolan Fellstool. His dad, Chad, one of the assistant coaches here on the Otter team. Again, Micah Johnson on deck, followed by Hunter Powers. Pitch in for a strike. Just painted the outside corner. That was a nice pitch. Low on that side, and right now Holter's in a pretty good groove here as he's retired 7 straight, pardon me. Pitch ground up the middle. Fellstool's going to be credited with a hit. So Nolan's 2 for 2. He'll reach. Good piece of hitting. And Micah Johnson steps in. Micah singled in the first, got an RBI as he drove in Fellstool. Again, Hunter Powers is on deck. There's one down. Brody Crine in the cleanup in the hole right now. Powers on deck. Fellstool at first. Holter from the stretch delivers inside 1-0. So 1-0 the count. Fellstool at first base. Again, Johnson at the plate. Senior Micah Johnson. Pitch inside. 2-0. Nice, the Otters get some base runners here. I'm sure the Otters won't be running here in this situation right now, down 5-1. Thrower to first. He gets back in easily. Otters trail 5-1. 1 out. 2-0 the count to Micah Johnson. Fellstool on first base. Here's a throw to first. Fellstool's in easy. So Fellstool making him think over there. But down 5-1, I don't think they'll be sending Nolan in this situation. There comes the pitch. That's high, 3-0. Good job by Micah Johnson, just laying off those high fastballs. Otters trail 5-1 here. We're in the bottom of the third inning. We'll play 7 here, just 1 7 inning. And a base on ball, so good job there. Micah draws a walk. Fellstool goes to second. And Hunter Powers steps in.
First baseman, number 16, Hunter Powers.
Powers has got some good power, got good pop. Brody Crine on deck, followed by Parker Tilke. There's 1 out. Otters trail 5-1, but with runners on first and second. Fellstool on second. And Micah Johnson on first base. Powers a left-handed batter. Big, strong hitter, lefty. Here comes the pitch from Holter. That's going to be for a ball. So 4 straight balls here thrown by the pitcher, Daylan Holter. Here comes the 1-0 count. Again, there's only 1 down, 2 on here for Fergus Falls. And it's going to be a strike. Right on that outside corner. So the count goes to 1-1. And there is 1 out. That was leadoff hitter Bennett Tilke. Powers takes a crack at that one. He fouls that one off. Count goes to 1-2. Powers steps in for the Otters here again. Nice to get it 1 or 2 back here now. With 1 out. Again, Brody Crine on deck. Yep, Holter doesn't work very fast, the Sartell pitcher. Pitch, got him looking. That's 2 down. And you hate to see called strike 3, but Crine will step in now. So Brody will step in. He hit a hard line drive to left fielder his first at bat. It was an out, but Brody will step in here as the number 4 hitter with runners on first and second. Pitch to Crine, up the middle. Shortstop steps on second base and unassisted. 6 unassisted there for Thompson. And so the Otters in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They leave 2 on. Our Minnesota Motor inning break brought to you by Minnesota Motor Company on South Peb Lake Road. We'll come back with more. The Otters trail 5-1.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. They have a different guy today. Hey, we're back here. And Brant Sherman was over there talking with the trainer a little bit. Maybe have a little arm issue or whatnot. But sophomore Tanner Donahue comes in to catch for Fergus Falls. You guys see what the score is? That game over there yet? Or is it? So Donahue comes in to catch. What's that? 12-1 the final. Are they still? Is it done? Like, are they still playing? The JV game has Sartell up 12-1. Okay. So Tanner Donahue comes in to catch here for Brant Sherman. And Thompson will step in. He's the leadoff hitter, grounded out to short in the first, singled and scored a run in the second. Again, we're in the top of the fourth inning. Thompson, first pitch. Pops it out to left field. And Jacob Froning on to make the catch. So there's one down. And Nolan Hemker will step in. He was hit by a pitch and singled, and he scored 2 runs. He's got a stolen base in the game as well. So Crine gets the first out. That was the leadoff hitter, Brady Thompson. First pitch, that looked awfully good from up here, but it's a ball. Otters trail 5-1 here in the top of the fourth inning. Hemker at the plate. He's the center fielder. Fly ball left field. Jacob Froning drifting to his right and makes the catch. So 3 pitches and 2 down here for Brody Crine. Both fly balls go to Jacob Froning. Mateo Segura steps in. So Segura steps in. And he reached on a fielder's choice. Also has an RBI single in the second inning. Crine's pitch. In for a strike. Brody gets ahead. Crine doing a good job here coming on a relief of Parker Tilke. There's a pitch in the dirt. 1-1. And yeah, I think Donahue got on a block pitch there. Gives head coach Shane Tilke a thumbs up. It's good to go. Ball went in the dirt. Good job blocking it, though, by Donahue. So 1-1 is the count. At the plate is the number 4 hitter, Miles Simonson. No, pardon me, Mateo Segura, the number 3 hitter. That's a ball, 2-1. So 2-1 the count to Segura. And there's a pop fly, left side. Under it is Cam Wiedrich. Camps under it. So a good inning for the Otters there. 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. As we head to the bottom of the fourth inning, the Otters trail 5-1. Our recap of the inning brought to you by Minnesota Motor Company.
It's time to get road trip ready with a new Buick from Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. Whether you like the full size and power of the Buick Enclave or the smaller, fuel-efficient Buick Envista, they have the perfect SUV waiting just for you. Some models are discounted up to $6,000. Contact the sales team for details. Buick, exceptional by design.
Minnesota.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Hey, we're back here at American Legion Field, where the Otters trail at 5-1. 5-1. And the Otters now will bring Parker Tilke to the plate, and then Tanner Donahue who came in for Brant Sherman, and then Cam Wiedrich. Those are your three batters to start out the bottom half of the fourth inning. And so Parker will step in here. He struck out on the first. So Parker Tilke will step in. And then sophomore Tanner Donahue will step in after that. And then Cam Wiedrich as well. So Tilke will step in here. Tilke's playing center field now. He started the game on the mound. And Brody Crine came on a relief. Pitch swung on and missed by Parker Tilke. Parker, right-handed batter. Here's the pitch to Tilke by Holter. Inside. Count goes to 1-1. 1-1 the count here to Parker Tilke. Holter from the windup. Curveball in for a strike. He's in a pretty good groove now, Holter. I think he faced 13 batters through 3 innings. Tilke steps in. He's only yielded 3 hits in the ballgame. Holter with a pitch. That's in the dirt. 2-2. So 2-2 the count. Again, the wind coming out of the south-southwest. Again, Tanner Donahue is on deck for Fergus Falls. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low. Good job here by Tilke. Brings the count to 3-2. So 3-2 the count. Holter from the windup. Right-hander delivers. Outside, trying to get that curveball across. And so good job there by Parker Tilke. Battles back from 0-2 and draws a walk. Tanner Donahue steps in. Came in for an injured Brant Sherman. So Tanner will step in. Tanner, a sophomore. Again, was catching probably in the JV game and called across the parking lot here and set to go. Donahue, pop fly, left field. And under it is Knott. So Tanner flies out to Knott, and there is one down. And Cam Wiedrich, the shortstop, will step in. He popped out to right field in the second inning. Jacob Froning on deck, followed by Bennett Tilke. So Wiedrich steps in with Tilke at first base. Tilke with a nice healthy lead here. Here's a pitch by Holter. That's high, ball 1, 1-0. So 1-0 the count to Cam Wiedrich. Thrower to Tilke at first base. In easily. Got the sliding glove on. We didn't have those oven mitts back when I played it. But if you can protect your hands, right? There's a foul ball. And Wiedrich's count is 1-1. So 1 on, 1 out. And Wiedrich at the plate. Otters trail 5-1. He were at the bottom of the 4th inning. Holter's gone the distance so far. Comes a 1-1 pitch. Tilke's going, and he'll get a stolen base there. So Tilke with a stolen base goes down to second. He's in scoring position. And the count goes 2-1 as that ball was in the dirt. Again, Jacob Froning on deck here for Fergus Falls. Here comes a pitch from Holter. Ground ball, right side. Fielded there by Schreiner. He'll take it himself. So Wiedrich is out unassisted to first base. 2 down, and that'll bring up left fielder Jacob Froning. Tilke goes to third base, so he's 90 feet away from home plate. Need a timely hit here just to chip away at this lead here. Again, the Otters trail 5-1. Froning at the plate. First pitch. Ground ball to the short. There, the pitcher, Holter. And it's a 1-3 putout. So Tilke reached, but is stranded at third base. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on base for the Otters as we head to the top of the 5th inning. 5-1 in favor of Sartell. We'll come back with more after this.
Lake Region Healthcare knows what all coaches know. It takes tons of teamwork, great amounts of grit, and heaps of hustle to triumph. Lake Region Healthcare, supporting and celebrating our high school athletes.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Welcome back to American Legion Field. Thanks for tuning in on Channel 977. Also streamed on the Fergus Now app and on the KBRF YouTube channel. And some more broadcasts coming up. Kind of excited about that. We'll have a game. What do we got next Tuesday, right, David? I got to get it up here. Tuesday. No, next. Yeah, that's. I don't have it past Thursday, but I think there's a Thursday. I think next week, but we'll get that before we go off the air here and let you know about the next broadcast. So Simonson steps in, ground ball left side. And it gets past Power. And so Miles Simonson reaches on a hit. Just close as Hunter Powers dove and couldn't quite get there. So Schlangen will step in. He is 0 for 2 thus far. So he is 0 for 2. So 1 on, nobody out here for Fergus Falls. Here's a pitch from Krein. That's a ball. Again, Schlangen again 0 for 2 so far. Pardon me, that was a strike. Yeah, just looking at next week, we'll have a doubleheader against Wilmer on Thursday. That's the next broadcast on video and also on 977. Throw it to first. Did he get him? I just looked down. I was looking at the schedule here. Did he slip? Or was it just a great move? I didn't. Yeah, so a big out there for Brody Krein as he picks off Miles Simonson. Gotta like that. And it's 0-1 here now to the third baseman, Trevor Schlangen. That's in the dirt. Count goes 1-1. Good job by Krein. Good play by Powers applying the tag. So 1-1 is a count. Foul ball. Brody gets ahead 1-2. Brody has 3 strikeouts. He had those although in the third inning, and then he took the Sartell Sabres down 1-2-3 in the top half of the fourth. 1 out with a 1-2 count. Ground ball, left side, dive, up with it, Fellstuhl to first. Great play by Fellstuhl. A 5-3 put out. Good job that time by Fellstuhl. hard ground ball to third base and a diving play by Fellstool, and there's 2 outs. Oh yeah, 10-4. So a great play by Nolan Fellstool, and Lendowski will step in, the catcher. And he was hit by a pitch and struck out. First pitch, a ball, 1-0. So Crine now with nobody on and 2 outs. Pitch swung on and missed at off speed. Crine is pitching very well here. Hasn't surrendered a run. So 1-1 the count with 2 down. That's in for a strike. So 1-2 the count. Yeah, 1-2. Give him garbage, right? A good pitch, but 1-2, 2 outs. A high, hard one that time. Lendowski didn't bite. 2-2 is the count. So Crine here now, the right-hander. Wines delivers. Curveball in the outside corner for a ball. 3-2. So 3-2 for Brody Crine. Catcher Keaton Landowski at the plate. That's going to be fouled out of play. Yeah, there's a lot of foul balls. That one inning there. So 3-2, the count to Keaton Landowski. And that pitch is fouled to the left side. You got to love the high pants over the top of the knee. Jim Tomei, right? That's the only one I can think of right now. Ground ball. Brody's going to come up with it. Little bat flip. Frustration from the catcher Landowski. 3 up, 3 down. 1-3 put out. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Minnesota Motor inning recap. We'll come back with the bottom of the 5th. Otters trail 5-1.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
Hey, we're back here at American Legion Field. I want to remind you the American Legion post-30 fundraising breakfast for the American Legion team. The players and parents will be serving Belgian waffles from 8 to 1, and it's free will. And so get out and before you head to church or after church, head over there and get some Belgian waffles. And American Legion supporting Legion baseball for many, many years. Otters won that American Legion in 1960, right? I think it goes back to 1960. And Otters have had some good Legion teams here in recent years. And we're set to go here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Right fielder Bennett Tilke will step in for the Otters. So Tilke is 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning. See if we can get to Holter. He's been cruising. First pitch ball, 1-0. He's only surrendered 3 hits through 4 innings. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Holter's pitch, high for a ball, 2-0. Need base runners. Nolan Fellstool, who's got a pair of hits in the game, is on deck. He made that nice play at third base. And Bennett Tilke, he'll single to right field. So the Otters have their leadoff batter aboard. Tilke to first. Good job of hitting that time by Bennett Tilke. And Nolan Fellstool will step in. And Nolan is 2 for 2. And he's got a run scored, the only run scored for the Otters. And we have a mound visit here. And let's see if there's going to be a pitching change here for Sartell. Could be with pitch count, early in the year, 50 pitches. And coming into pitch here for Sartell is Luke Lance. So Luke Lance will come into pitch. And so 4 1/3 inning, 4 innings. And let's see, we have 1 run, 4 hits. And he stranded 4, so a nice job there by the pitcher Holter. So Luke Lance comes into pitch, and we'll take a timeout here during the pitching change.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Between muddy roads and dusty drives, your car takes a beating. Keep it shining with an unlimited car wash membership at Splash Express. Upgrade to the Platinum for a rust inhibitor, hot wax, and ceramic coating in one bundle. Stop by Splash Express next to Premier Meats in Fergus Falls.
Between practices, games, and late-night drives, who's got time to grocery shop? With Instacart from Service Food in Fergus Falls, order online and your groceries are ready for delivery. So you can cheer louder, not shop longer. Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Hey, we're back here. Luke Lance comes on to pitch for Holter. Again, Holter goes 4 1/3 and 1 run, 4 hits. He stranded 4 runners on base. And he had 4 strikeouts. Did a good job. And Lance comes on in relief as Holter was at 50 pitches. That's not too many, but early in the year like this. And again, Feldstuhl will step in here for the Otters. Again, Benetilke reached on a single, so he's at first base. Again, Luke Lance into pitch. Ken has a little 3/4 arm there. It's not quite submarine. Can you guys name some submarine pitchers? Darren O'Day. How about Kent DeColvey? Kansas City Royals. He's one of the first ones. I had a brother that pitched for the Gophers. He threw the sidearm. Then he pitched in the Twins organization. But I don't know, it's coming in there 80 plus. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it is. But that kind of what helped his career a lot, playing the minor league. So here we go. Feldstuhl at the plate. Benetilke on first base. There's the pitch to Feldstuhl, in for a strike. Now the Otters really don't want to make out an out at second base because we need more than just 1 here, so I'm sure that they'll be conservative on the base pads. Trailing 5-1. There's a pitch in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-1. Feldstuhl made a beautiful play in the second out. In the top of the 5th inning, diving play. He's 2 for 2. He's got a run scored. Left-hand bat. Again, Benetilke at first base. Pitch by Lance. That's going to be fouled back. Count goes to 1-2. So Luke Lance on the mound. Where's number 11? Here comes a pitch from Lance. Delivers that 3/4 arm fastball in the dirt. Count is 2-2. So 2-2 the count here to Nolan Feldstuhl. Yeah. Feldstuhl at the plate. 2-2 the count. Here's a pitch. Inside, fouled off. Little breaking ball that kind of came in on Nolan's hands, but he did get the bat on it. So 5-1, Otters trail here. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nobody out. Benetilke on first base. Feldstuhl at the plate. Count is 2-2. Pitch to Feldstuhl. That's going to be popped up. And that's going to be fielded and caught by the left fielder, not. And so Feldstuhl flies out to left field. And so it'll bring up Micah Johnson. Again, Tilke's at first. And Micah has singled, drew a walk, and he has 1 RBI in the ball game. The only run to come across for the Otters was the Feldstuhl run in the first inning. It's the pitch to Johnson. And it's going to be outside, ball 1, 1-0. Again, Tilke at first base. Otters need more than that 1 run, so they'll be conservative on the base pads here. Hunter Powers on deck. Thrower to first. Tilke's back easily. Again, Otters trail 5-1 again in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lance with a pitch. That's in for a strike. 1-1. 1-1 the count. Again, Powers is on deck. And if he reaches, Brody Crine would come to the plate. Pitch to senior Micah Johnson. And that's going to be popped up to left field. And Knott's going to make the play. There's 2 down. There's 2 down. Still 1 runner aboard. And Hunter Powers steps in. And Hunter is 0 for 2. Flied out to right field and struck out in the 3rd. So Powers steps in here for the Otters. Trailing 5-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. And the pitch is inside, ball 1. Again, we'll have a doubleheader next Thursday as Wilmer comes to town. It's on channel 977. And streamed on the Fergus Now app and on the KBRF YouTube channel. There's a pitch for a ball outside. 2-0 the count. Crine is on deck, and Parker Tilke is in the hole. There's the pitch. Oh, I thought it was going to be low. It's a strike. 2-1. Dinner engagement for the umpire. No, it's a low. Luke Lance, the pitcher. Tilke's on first. That's Bennett Tilke. There's a pitch in the dirt. 3-1. So a good count here for Powers. If they groove one. Powers steps in here. 3-1. Love to hit with this count. Anyway on here for the Otters. They need runners. Trailing again by 4 runs. Here's the pitch. Swung. That's going to be popped down the left field line. It is out of play, or foul ball. So if you play with wood bats, you don't get those. I would say about a third of the hits with aluminum bats you don't get with wood bats. It's really different. I think it's okay for amateur ball to slow the game down a little bit because, my goodness. And even with now with the bats nowadays too. 3-2, 2 outs. Tilke will be going. Bennett's off. That's a ball. The Otters draw a walk here. So Powers to first, Bennett to second. And Brody Crine steps in with 2 outs. And runners at first and second. So Crine will step in. If he reaches, Parker Tilke is on deck. Crine. Oh, nice play by the third baseman. Crine ripped it down the third baseline. And good play there by the third baseman. Good camera work by Dave Bishop. So the Otters with no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 2 on base as we head now to the top of the 6th. 5-1, the Otters trail it. We'll come back with more.
It's time to get road trip ready with a new Buick from Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. Whether you like the full size and power of the Buick Enclave or the smaller, fuel-efficient Buick Envista, they have the perfect SUV waiting just for you. Some models are discounted up to $6,000. Contact the sales team for details. Buick, exceptional by design. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Hey, welcome back to American Legion Field. We are in the top of the 6th inning, and the Otters trail it by a score of 5-1. As the Sabres scored 1 in the first and 4 in the second inning and have been held scoreless since then. Brody Crine comes on relief of Parker Tilke. Tanner Donahue coming in to catch in relief of Brant Sherman, who went out with an injury, I believe. And so we're set to go here. Jackson Knott, who had 2 putouts last inning, steps to the plate here for Sartell. Crine on the mound. He's pitched well here. I think Brody's only given up 1 hit and through 3 innings so far. First pitch is a ball. He's got 3 strikeouts. And he's retired the last 7 guys he's faced. Ground ball, left side, Nolan Fellstool up with it, on to first. Nice play again by Fellstool. And as a pitcher, you really appreciate the defense. Good play there by Nolan Fellstool to retire Knott. And we'll score that one 5-3. And Matt Schreiner will step in. Struck out in the third, singled, and scored a run in the second. First pitch is a strike. First pitch is a strike. Here's the pitch by Crine. That's outside for a ball, 1-1. And outside that second inning, the Otters have played good defense in this one. Here's the pitch to Steiner. That's Swan lifted up high, and Cam Wiedrich is under it, and Campson makes the play. And there's 2 down here now for the Otters in the top half of the 6th inning. And Dalen Holter will step in. Had a sacrifice fly in the second inning with 1 RBI and struck out in the third. So Holter came out of the game. He was DHing for himself, so he stays in as the DH. Luke Lance doing the pitching. First pitch is a ball, 1-0. There's a strike, off-speed pitch in for a strike, 1-1. Otters trail 5-1 here. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Sartell at the plate. Curveball. There's a hit into left field. And so Holter gets aboard on a base hit. And Brody Thompson, the shortstop, leadoff hitter, will step in. And Thompson grounded out 6-3 in the first inning. Singled and scored a run in the second and flied out to left field in the fourth. So he is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Runners going. And in easily with the steal that time is Holter. So a stolen base for Holter. He goes to second base. There's 1 ball. No strikes. Brady Thompson, the shortstop. Crying on relief of Parker Tilke. There's the pitch. Good job by Tanner Donahue blocking that one. So 2-0 the count. Here's Crine, comes to the set. Throws the second, and getting back there is the designated hitter, Dalen Holter. 2 outs here for the Otters. Get this third out, and they want to get back in the dugout and get up to the bat here and see if they can overcome this 5-1 deficit. There's the pitch inside. 3-0. So Crine from the set here, from the stretch, faces number 2, Brady Thompson. There's the pitch in for a strike. 3-1. So Crine coming back here. 1 runner on second in Dylan Holter. Singled and then stole the base. Here's Crine's delivery. Pitch up high and a base on ball walk. So 2 on now. Holter at second, Thompson at first, and Nolan Hemker will step in. He singled, stole the base, scored a run in the first inning, and drew a walk in the second inning, also scored, and then popped out to left field in the 4th inning. Pitch outside. 1-0 to Hemker. Sartell with runners on first and second. They lead it 5-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. There's the pitch in for a strike. 1-1 the count. Sartell sure taking a lot of pitches here, aren't they? They're pretty patient at the plate right now. So 1-1 the count. Crine delivers. Pop fly. Tanner Donahue with the put out. Tanner makes the catch. So Donahue with the catch. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 2 men on base. Our Minnesota Motor half-inning recap. We come now to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Otters will come to the plate, trailing 5-1. Listening to Otter Baseball on Channel 977, streaming on the Fergus Now app and also on the KBRF YouTube channel.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
For over 50 years, Ottertail Coaches has safely carried kids to school, to games, and back home again. Trusted by generations, they're proud to serve Fergus Falls and the surrounding area. Ottertail Coaches, safety, service, and dependability.
Yeah. There's 3 kids. Hey, we're back here at American Legion Field, and the Otters trail at 5-1 and need a run here as Parker Tilke and then Tanner Donahue and Cam Wiedrich will be up for the Otters. But, yeah, ever since that 4th inning, again, Crine has really shut down Sartell here. So Parker Tilke steps in here for the Otters. And Parker struck out in the 1st, walked in the 4th. So he is 0 for 2. He stole the base, though, got as far as 3rd base there in the 5th inning. Or 4th inning, pardon me. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. So Luke Lantz on to pitch here for the Sartell Sabres. Second pitch is going to be popped up to right field. Simonson is under it, makes the play, and Parker flies out to the right fielder, Simonson. And Tanner Donahue will step in for the Otters. Tanner flew out to left field in the 4th inning. Left-handed batter. There's a pitch curveball in for a strike. Tanner, sophomore, defenseman on the Otter hockey team. Quite a few left-handed batters in that sophomore group. There's a swing fouled back, out of play. On deck is shortstop Cam Wiedrich. 5-1, Otters trail here with 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Pitch outside, good weight that time, take by Tanner. It's 1-2. So 1-2 to count to Tanner Donahue. Lance with a pitch. And there's a off the hands there. It's going to be popped out to Schreiner, the first baseman. And so 2 up and 2 down here for the Otters. In the bottom of the 6th inning, and Wiedrich will step in. And Cam popped out to the right fielder and then was out on a 3-4 put out. And he is 0 for 2. Wiedrich steps in. If he reaches, Josh Horgan would bat. There's a curveball. He's on deck. Yeah, he's on deck. So if Wiedrich bats. Yeah, what's going on with the softball game? Do you have that, Robbie? And against ground ball. Left side. Shortstop up with it. What a nice play by the shortstop. That was a great play there by Thompson. And good hustle by Wiedrich, but a 6-3 putout. So the Otters, no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave nobody on. We head now to the top of the 7th inning. 5-1 in favor of Sartell. We'll come back with more after this.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
Hey, we're back here. Jacob Froning coming on to pitch here for the Otters. So Krein goes 4 innings, no runs, gives up 2 hits, and he strands 4 runners. And so Jacob Froning now is going to come in to pitch. Powers goes to left, Krein to third base. Micah Johnson in left field, and Nolan goes to second base. All right. Yep, that's what we got. Otters shuffling the deck here. Krein, probably want to say, he had a really nice 4 innings there, because the 5 runs were credited to Parker, who pitched well too, but in relief, Krein surrenders 2 hits in 4 innings and gives up no runs. So Jacob Froning comes on here for the Otters in the top half of the 7th inning. Hunter Powers goes to third base, Brody Krein to first, Nolan Fellstuhl to second base, and Micah Johnson to left field. There's a lot of changes there. So the Otters trail 5-1 here on the Park Region scoreboard. Otter girls softball loses to Detroit Lakes in a doubleheader, 12-10 and 9-6. JV team lost, I think, in 5 innings against Sartell on the Farmer Field. And Jacob Froning on to pitch here for the Otters. Froning, a right-hander, and stepping in is Mateo Segura, the shortstop. First pitch is a ball. Segura reached on a fielder's choice, singled in the second and popped out to the shortstop in the fourth inning. Here's a foul ball. Count goes to 1-1. So Jacob Froning on here to pitch the seventh inning. It's a delivery that's a ball high and outside, 2-1. Oh, that was. Wow. I thought that was a ball. We'll take it, though. One for the home team. Let's go. 1-2. Ground ball left side. It gets past Fellstool. So a single. Nolan's made some good plays there. He's going to go for 2. And he is safe. Okay. Yeah, that was good base running by Segura. He caught us off guard. That's a double. That's good base running. You know, he just and kind of caught the Otters off guard. So there's a runner on second base, and Miles Simonson. Yep, very solid team here in Sartell. That Sandlot stuff there, taking an extra base like that. That's just heads up. Froning pitches high, so Segura on second, and it's 1-0 here now to the right fielder, Miles Simonson. Left-hand bat. Again, he is the cleanup hitter. Jacob Froning on the mound. Here's the windup, the pitch. So 2-0. Yeah, he made a great play, Nolan, at third. That's what. Yeah. I love playing third because you just react. You know what I mean? You don't have time to sit and think about. It was a great play. Here's a 2-0 count now to Miles Simonson. And that's hit into left field. And Bennett Tilke up with it. Gets it in right away this time. Crine cuts it off. So runners at first and third. And so a double by Segura and a single by Simonson. And Schlangen steps in, the third baseman. He's grounded out to a third base 2 times and a strikeout as well. He's 0 for 3. First and third. So first and third situation, we'll see the runner going. His oven mitt straps off on first base. You can see that sliding glove. There's the pitch. And a delayed steal down to second base. Runners at first, second and third now. Yeah, I just go. Yep. Trailing 5-1 here now. Infield is in with nobody out. 2-0 the count to Schlangen. Again, he's the third baseman. He's 0 for 3. Jacob Froning. No outs and 2 runners aboard. There's the pitch inside. 3-0. So 3-0 the count. Is this Dave Bishop Weather Awareness Week? So you should know. You're the news director and program director at KBRF program director. So does a great job. And does a great job on the camera and the board here too. But a walk. Bases are juiced now. And the catcher, Keaton Landowski, steps in. Struck out in the second. And hit by pitch in the third inning and grounded out to the pitcher, Crine, in the 5th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. Here for Sartell. Froning's pitch in the dirt. Again, we're in the top of the 7th inning. 80 today, 36 tomorrow. You would think there would be a really bad storm, wouldn't you think? There would be some moisture, but with that temperature change, 1-1. The count. How much? The trace? 1-1 the count. Here comes the pitch from Froning. That's going to be fouled out of play. 1-2. Otters need an out here. So Froning delivers there. It's fouled back. And the left fielder Knott is on deck. Runners at first, second, and third here for Sartell. Here's the pitch from Froning. That's outside. Count goes to 2-2. Again, we'll have Otter baseball next Thursday as Wilmer comes to town for a doubleheader. Pitch from Jacob Froning. 3-2. So 3-2 the count here now with nobody out. Jacob Froning on the mound. Here's the pitch from Froning. That's in the dirt. And that'll be a Mateo Segura comes across. He'll score. And down to first base goes Landowski with a base on ball. Nobody out. Jackson Knott will step in. Singled in the second, scored a run. Singled in the third, and grounded out to the third baseman, Nolan Folstool, in the sixth inning. And looks like Shane Tilke is going to make a full heart. Let's see here. Shane's coming out to the mound to talk to Jacob Froning here. Otters trail now 6-1. Looks like Jacob will come in. He's just going to Shane Tilke coming in to talk to the boys at the pitching mound. So we have runners on first, second, and third. One across here in top of the seventh. Nobody out. And Jackson Knott stepping in. He's got a stolen base, scored a run. He's got a pair of hits. 2 for 3. Pretty long mound visit here for Coach Tilke. Usually the umpire comes and breaks up the party right away. It's gonna. All right, here we go. Runners on first, second, and third. Nobody out. Otters trail 6-1. And Jackson Knott steps in. Here's the pitch from Jacob Froning. That's in the dirt, but a good stop by Tanner Donahue. Good job that time by Donahue. Stopping that one. That could have been a run. 1-0 the count. Pitch from Froning. That's going to be in the dirt. That's going to be blocked by Tanner again. Pops to the left. And so again, Jacob will head back to the mound here. 2-0 the count. Nobody out. Bases are loaded here for Sartell. Otters trail 6-1. Top of the seventh inning. There's the pitch. In for a strike. So Jacob Froning on the mound here. Right hand delivery. Pitch. Foul ball. Count goes to 2-2. So Jacob coming back here against Jackson Knott, left fielder here for Sartell. Here comes the 2-2 pitch from Froning. Ground ball. Shortstop. Could be 2. 1 and 2. Double play. Good play that time. Wiedrich to Nolan Fellstuhl on to Brody Crine. But one run does come across. Miles Simonson scores. And Schlangen is out at second. Let's see, Landowski, and Knott's out, the second out. Ground ball, Fellstuhl, on to Crine. And Schreiner is out, and so there is 2 runs. Did I have 2 hits? 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. 1 left on base. 7-1 is our score. We will come back with the bottom of the 7th here. Otters trail it again 7-1.
Hi, I'm Heather Hickman, Executive Director for LB Homes in Fergus Falls. Seasons may change, but one truth remains: our compassionate, Christ-centered care at LB Browen Home. For over a century, we have served as His hands and feet. Every resident is welcomed as family, embraced with the dignity and kindness that Christ calls us to share. So whether you are seeking peace of mind or a trusted home for a loved one, you'll find it here. LB Browen Home, rooted in faith, serving with compassion, trusted for generations.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
Welcome back to American Legion Field. Dave Bishop, our game site engineer. And the Otters trail 7-1. And the lead off here now, it's going to be Jacob Froning will lead it off here for Fergus Falls, followed by Bennett Tilke. So Jacob Froning will step in here for Fergus Falls. Jacob is 0 for 2 in the game this far. Bennett Tilke is on deck. First pitch is in for a strike. And Luke Lance came on in relief of Daylon Holter. Otters need 6 to keep this one going. Lance delivers. 3/4 arm fastball outside, 1-1. Yeah, he does have a different motion, doesn't he? Kind of 3/4 arm kind of throws across his body. Kind of looks like a gamer, though. It seems like he curveball. Yeah, good job by Froning. He'll lace that one up the gut. Good patience. He hits the curveball. Kind of hung it out there. And Jacob Froning reaches, and Bennett Tilke will come on. He singled his last time up and grounded out to the shortstop in the 3rd inning. So Tilke steps in here for Fergus Falls. Big lead over there for Jacob Froning. Ground ball left side. Shortstop up with it. And they will get Froning out at second base on a fielder's choice. So Bennett reaches on a fielder's choice. And Froning goes out, and that was a 5-3 put out. And Nolan Fellstool steps in. He's 2 for 3. He's got a run scored. The only run for Fergus Falls, the RBI single by Matt Johnson. That one's popped out to center field. And the center field, Emker is under it, and Fellstool is retired.
Now batting second baseman, actually left fielder, number 6, Micah Johnson.
And Micah Johnson steps up here now with 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. And the Otters trail 7-1. There's 1 runner on board. Bennett Tilke reached on that fielder's choice. Pitch to Johnson, left side. And that's going to be a single. Yep, Micah Johnson singles. Keeps the inning alive here. And Bennett Tilke goes to second base. And Hunter Powers will step in. And Hunters is 0 for 2. He popped out to right field, struck out, and then walked. So Powers steps in with runners on first and second. Pitch and a foul ball left side. Hunter is due for a hitter. I think he's going to get one. And the pitcher, Luke Lance, kind of has a 3/4 arm, not a full side arm, but 2 down here for the Otters. There's the pitch. That's going to be outside, 1-1. One might have been a wild pitch maybe, or a. There's a ball high, 2-1. Getting to a better hitters count here. 2-1. Otters with runners on first and second. Powers at the plate. There's a pitch low, 3-1. This is when you love to bat right now. 3-1. Put it on a tee here. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Otters trail 7-1. Powers at the plate. Trying to keep the game alive here for Fergus Falls. There's the pitch to Powers. Drives it. And the center fielder, Hempker, gets it. He got under that one, but a nice play by the center fielder. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on for the Otters, and that's the ball game as Fergus Falls loses here by a score of 7-1 on the Park Region telephone scoreboard. We'll take a timeout and we'll come back with our post-game show after this.
It's time to get road trip ready with a new Chevy Silverado from Minnesota Motor Company in Fergus Falls. Right now, take advantage of discounted pricing, customer cash, and Costco member incentives that will put substantial savings back in your pocket. Whether you're heading out on a road trip or heading to the job site, Minnesota Motor will be with you every mile. Together, let's drive.
Minnesota Motor.
South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls and Breckenridge. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's has a way better option than some overprocessed junk from the back of your freezer. They've got take and bake meals made fresh with real ingredients, and all you have to do is stick it in the oven. Fresh and Fancy, saving moms one dinner at a time.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. Just like their student athletes, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Need custom tees, hats, or uniforms? Let Lake Country Graphics bring your brand to life with top quality screen printing and embroidery. Located on North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027 today.
Here's to a great season for all our favorite high school athletes. American Legion is a favorite too and serves up everyone's favorite barbecued ribs. American Legion of Fergus Falls, open each Wednesday through Saturday on Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls.
Hey, we're back here at American Legion Field. The Otters lose it by a score of 7-1, and they fall to 3-1 on the season, and Sartell goes to 3-2. Our post-game show begins right now, and let's first of all look at the ball game as the Sartell Sabres scored 1 in the first, and they got 4 runs in the second inning, and they got a pair of runs in the 7th inning to total 7 in the game. They had 7 runs, 9 hits, and they stranded 7 runners in the game. And the Otters, as far as their line goes, 1 run on 4 hits, and the Otters stranded 5 runners in this one. But it was really that the difference in the ballgame was that second inning where they put up 4 in the inning. And the Otters played good defense in this one. Both teams for early in the season have played pretty solid defense, and so if you're head coach Shane Tilke, you gotta love that. And the hitting will come. It's usually the pitching is super important. The defense and the hitting will come as well. But hats off to Dalen Holter, as he only surrendered in the 6 innings he pitched. Or he pitched probably 1, 2, 3, 4. He only surrendered 3 hits, gave up the 1 run, and then Luke Lance came on in relief and gave up 1 hit and no runs. So some good pitching here. Brody Crine came on a relief of Parker Tilke. Parker Tilke pitches the first couple of innings and gets into the Crine gets the last out of the second inning, and but Parker surrenders 5 runs and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, and Crine comes in and really gives up no runs, gives up a pair of hits, and for Crine he had 1, 2, 3. Struck out the side, but he had retired like 7 or 8 straight at one point. So Crine had a nice afternoon here. We're going to take a short break, and we'll come back and name our Toyota Quality Player of the Game.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Between muddy roads and dusty drives, your car takes a beating. Keep it shining with an unlimited car wash membership at Splash Express. Upgrade to the Platinum for a rust inhibitor, hot wax, and ceramic coating in one bundle. Stop by Splash Express next to Premier Meats in Fergus Falls.
Between practices, games, and late-night drives, who's got time to grocery shop? With Instacart from Service Food in Fergus Falls, order online and your groceries are ready for delivery. So you can cheer louder, not shop longer. Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Welcome back. It's now time to name our Toyota Quality Player of the Game, brought to you by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. For screen printing and custom repair with the best in personal service around, contact Lake Country Graphics at 1223 North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls, or call them at 998-4027. It will be junior pitcher Brody Crine who came on in relief, and he pitched 4 1/3 scoreless innings, and really came on and pitched well for the Otters, and really kept him in this game, but the Otters able to overcome the deficit. A 7-1 victory here for Sartell. Again, the Otters will go on next week to take on. We'll have a broadcast. Let's just set the table for the week. The Otters will take on Tuesday. They'll travel to Sauk Rapids Rice for a doubleheader, and then we'll have the broadcast of the Wilmer doubleheader. Pregame show at 3:45. First pitch at 4 o'clock against the Wilmer Cardinals on Channel 977, also streamed on the Fergus Now app and on the Fergus Falls YouTube channel. So the Otters lose it here, 7-1 on their home field. Thanks for tuning in. Tune in to Craig Olson tomorrow on our Leighton media stations and catch up on all the sports. Also check out CraigOlsonSports.com. That'll do it here from Legion Field. The Otters lose it by a score of 7-1. Is it on the other?
Thank you for joining us for a special KBRFradio.com sports presentation. Tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Nelson Auto and your Nelson starting lineups, Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota Player of the Game, Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show, Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region Healthcare timeout, Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard, the Viking Cafe and your Viking Cafe keys to the game, Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapies Incorporated, Fergus Falls Monument, Otter Tail Coaches, American Federal Bank of Fergus Falls, Fresh and Fancy at Mama Sheena's, FM Bank, Service Food, Splash Express, American Legion Post number 30, Lake Country Graphics, LB Homes, and by Running Stitches. Thank you for joining us for a special video sports streaming presentation. You can find this game and others by going to KBRFradio.com and clicking on sports streaming, the KBRF Radio YouTube page.